Hi guys, so bear with me. It is nighttime. I'm protecting the edges, but I thought I would finally tell you guys about my Düsseldorf story. I went there last weekend for the first time, and it was kind of sort of a date. I'm still not 100% sure if it was a date. I mean, I held his hand and he paid for my dinner and drinks, though I bought him some drinks too, so I don't know. Anywho, I briefly met someone, briefly, because it happened at the airport. So the day that I flew in here, I told you guys that story about the crazy storm and how my train was canceled. So I figured out that my train was canceled by this mystery man. We'll call him R. So I was standing outside of the train and I was nervous and thinking that I'm going to take my first train ride. I hope that I get off at the right destination, you know, just the normal thoughts. And yeah, this really tall guy comes out of the train and along with a few other people, and he said it's canceled. So he pretty much was the bearer of bad news. He let me know that the trains are canceled, and then at that point I was kind of, I don't want to say I was hysterical. That's weird. Yeah, that's the wrong word. I was just really tired, and the day was long. And I'd been waiting at the train station for 4 hours for this train. So to hear that it was canceled, and of course it was the train right before my train was scheduled to leave, it was just, you know, I started laughing. So as soon as he said it, yeah, I probably did seem hysterical. But anyways, he ended up giving me his number. Okay, make a long story short. I mean, it is really a short story. Like, it was just a brief encounter and it ended with a number. Every night I've been here, I talk to him on the phone because he lives in Frankfurt. So we decided to meet up. Yeah, hang out, I guess. So we did so in Düsseldorf, which was better because it was closer to me and I didn't have to go all the way down to him. But he was already in, actually he was in Cologne for the day. So that's how Düsseldorf came about. And yes. So let's just start with the day of last Saturday. The day was already thrown off. For some reason, the night before, I stayed up until 2 a.m. and I just don't know, I was really struggling with just getting my sleep schedule straight. And sometimes I would stay up and I would talk to friends or family members around like midnight or so. And just because with the time difference, it's really weird. And anywho, I went to bed at 2 and then I woke up feeling like, like I was rushed because I was nervous. I wanted to take my first train ride and I wanted it to be successful, meaning that I did not want to get lost. I did not want to end up at the wrong station or something. Just knowing me, something always happens. So I was nervous. So I made sure that I got started getting ready early because obviously I wanted to look cute, but at the same time it was freezing. So it's like going to be wearing layers, but I don't want to look like an Eskimo. So it's like, how do I stay warm and also look some type of fashionable? So I tried on lots of clothes and lots of different combinations of boots with scarves, which is hilarious because I really don't have a lot. I only brought 2 suitcases. But yes, by that time I was pretty much ready to go, and I had already thought in my head that I should get there early just in case something happens, just in case I miss a train or just something goes wrong. I should get there early. And so I set it up to where I got there an hour early, and I'm very glad I did. Very glad I did. So I got my little app out and I started walking to the nearest train station, which I didn't even know where the train station was. Thankfully, it was not a very far walk at all, maybe 15 minutes. And right off the bat, it was kind of exciting because I'd never seen well, I had seen a train station, the Frankfurt one, but I mean just in a regular town, because that one was kind of like in an airport. It was odd. So it's up above, so it's like you feel like you're underground and then you walk up these stairs and then you're on a literal platform, and it's tall. So yeah, I got up there, there's 2 other people, and I just sat down and looked around, trying not to be too weird about it, but I just wanted to make sure I was in the right place. Thankfully I was, and sat there, twiddled my thumbs, and tried to act normal. Like this is just a train ride, huh? Just how I spend my Saturdays, on a train. So the train came, and right off the bat, I was really shocked because it was so quiet. I didn't see that coming. Trains are quiet. I thought it was gonna be loud, like a train at home. We only have like cargo trains. They're moving stuff. Like people don't ride those trains. So if you hear it, it's very, very loud, and it's old. This was really nice and really quiet. And I think it was an S-Bahn. I think that's the type of train. I probably got that wrong, but there was an S in it, just know that much. So I got on it, and everything happened so quickly, which, see, it could have been possible for me to miss this, like, because it's like people got on, and then before you knew it, the train was taking off. And I noticed that when it made its stops, it was the same thing, very quick. People are off, and then I noticed that some people would get up and they would stand by the doors before the train had stopped, and just to be prepared and kind of move the process along faster. I don't know. So I had my little app, and I was watching my progress so I would know when to get off. And so thankfully it'll count it down, like you have 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and then 1 minute, and then it'll show you whatever bus station you're at, and then it'll tell you you're on this platform, you need to get to this platform, this is how much time you have before your connecting train. And so I was following it, and always like this, and yeah, I connected. I think it was in Wuppertal. I had to get on another train, and so their bus station was way larger than the one in my town. It was pretty big, and there's these different corridors, and pretty much it just goes up a flight of stairs to a platform, and yeah, there are a lot of different platforms. So I got up onto mine, and then you know, I did the whole making sure I'm in the right place. And so the train came, I was watching my phone, seeing a little countdown, and oh, okay, it is here. This is the train. I mean, this must sound so silly to those of you who have ridden millions of trains, but for the first time, I was nervous. I was very nervous. I just wanted to make sure that nothing went wrong, but that's why I gave myself an hour. I think we said we were going to meet at 4, so 1600. I made sure I got there at 1500, just in case. So yeah, so I'm following it. I got on my connecting train, and yes, the scenery, like looking up at the scenery, like everything is so green. It was like the countryside was really gorgeous. So I got off where my phone app told me to get off at, and then yeah, that was pretty much it. Where did I get wrong? I don't know. Anyways, I got off, and I walked down the platform. So as soon as you walk down, take the stairs, and then it's like you're under the train tracks, and then there's cars going by. It was just a really, really busy causeway. And I look across the street, and I see other what looked like train tracks, and there's people waiting, and there's signs, and so I thought that those were other platforms. I don't know. I thought I was in the right place because we said that we would meet in Düsseldorf HBF at platform 2. So I thought I saw other platforms and that I was in the right place. And when I got my train ticket on the little app, I typed in Düsseldorf HBF, and I think what popped up was Düsseldorf City, something like that. But anyways, I bought the ticket, and told me to get off at this location, and I got off at the location, and it was really, really cold. Let's just get to the story. It was very, very cold. So I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to just stand here and wait, because everything went right. So I was there an hour early for no reason. At the time, that's what I thought. So I went into this restaurant, and they had those things that everyone seems to be talking about. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's a doner or a doner, I don't know, but it's a huge slab of meat, and it's on this rotating thing. Like, it is huge. I wish I could tell you guys just how big it is. It is huge. Okay, huge slab of meat, and like they have these little electric shavers, and it's like shaving off meat, and it smelled so good, so good. I use German. Grandma, I use German. I'm making an effort. I asked him what it was. The easiest 3 words perhaps in the German language. And it's funny because he told me what it was and I didn't understand him. So he ended up telling me in English, it's lamb. It was lamb. So I waited there. Well, I bought a water and then I waited there and I charged my phone because of course I'd been using the different apps to help me get everywhere. So it was kind of dead. So I charged it. I read an ebook, you know, fun stuff. I had an hour to kill. So maybe 35 minutes go past and then he messages me saying that he's here. And I'm like, oh, he's early. So I was like, oh, me too. I'm just staying warm in a restaurant. I will meet you at platform 2. So I start walking and then I go up to kind of where I was and then I start reading the platforms and I'm seeing that it was far from being a number 2 there. So then I walk down and then I didn't actually cross the street, but I could see from where I was, this location that I thought were more platforms is actually like a bus stop. It was really weird. This is like no bus that I've seen. Like there was tracks. Why are there tracks? I don't understand. But it was not a train. And so I was just like, oh no, I am in the wrong place. And you know, I felt so stupid because I got there early just to make sure that I could find the location. And I still failed. I still failed. So around this time, he's like, oh, where are you? And I let him know that I'm not quite sure where I'm at. I texted him the name of the train station that I was at, the stop, whatever you want to call it. And we figure out that I am 20 minutes away from where he is. We figured this out by me taking a number of just pictures of like, you know, street signs, and because I was trying to tell him exactly where I was, but he hadn't been in Düsseldorf for like many years, he said, so he didn't really quite know where I was either. I started walking. I punched in the street address of where we said that we would meet in the middle. And I'm just, you know, doing this number and it's cold and I'm just walking down the streets alone. And it really wasn't scenic. Like the area that I was at, it wasn't scenic at all. And so people had told me about Düsseldorf before, but I was like, so yeah, I found him. And then he wasn't quite sure how to get to where we needed to go. So he asked some other people, and it was funny because obviously this is all in German, and so they would start giving us directions and they would look at me as well, and like they're telling me the directions, and I couldn't pick up a single word of what they were saying. It was really weird. Maybe I picked up links or something like that, but I don't know, I just could not understand them. Anything. It was really weird. So after they'd get done talking, then he would just translate to me in English. Okay, we need to go this way. So we found the area and there were so many people. Like, I'm really glad that I went there with someone else because I would have been so overwhelmed. There were like a lot of crowds, like so much so that when you're walking, you're kind of like right up on people. So there's no personal space or bubble. I mean, it's a Saturday afternoon, but I didn't know what to expect. There's so many stores. I feel like there's so much to look at. Like literally, I'm just like going like back and forth, just looking at all the other places. I wanted to go shopping so bad, but you know, we were hanging out or on a date. I don't know what you want to call it. And that would have been so rude to make him wait while I shopped, but I wanted to so bad. I felt the urge, and it was so cool because like some of the malls, like they're glass, which you definitely do not see in the States. Like it's a glass mall, but think about like 4 or 5 stories. I think it was more than that, honestly, but it's in glass and it's really, really, really cool. So we got to this location where there were like a lot of the posh stores. So like the fashion designers like Gucci and Versace, Louis Vuitton, just like everyone, Diesel, everyone you could possibly think of is on this strip. And it was a really nice area. There's like a river, and it's just, this was the scenic Düsseldorf that I had heard about, and it was really, really pretty. I would have filmed more, but that's kind of awkward. So I didn't, but yeah, it was really, really, really pretty. And then we made our way to the river, and that was pretty cool. It was really fast moving. And then in the background, you could see like this really, really tall building, and it has like a needle on the top. And he told me that there's like this, there's a restaurant up there, and there's also like a glass area where you can like walk on it, and it's just all in glass. And then if you're afraid of heights, it's definitely not the thing to do, but I definitely want to do it. Like, next time I go there, I'm going to be doing that, and I will take you guys along for that experience. But I feel like we would have done it, but it was really cold outside, and it was like really far from where we were, so I just kind of wanted to stay closer to where all the restaurants and things were, so we didn't go after that, but I'm going to do it. It's going to be so much fun. So there was just, I don't know, just the feeling and just the energy was so cool. They had a band, which usually you don't see bands like that in the US except at high schools. And so just a huge band, music and crowds, and everyone was just really enjoying it. It was a really nice evening. So we got hungry and we went to my first German restaurant. So yeah, we were trying to make up our minds where to eat. And he decided on the place, and I don't know, he decided on like more of a traditional restaurant, and that is where I tried my first authentic German beer. So the beer I tried was the Alt beer, and that just translates as old beer, and it was dark and it was pretty thick looking, like Guinness thick looking, which I've never had a Guinness. I just judge it by looking at it and knowing that that is not something I want to try, but I'm not a beer drinker. So anyways, apparently that's just a popular beer. The Alt beer is popular in Düsseldorf, so that's why we got it. It's funny because he's not really a big beer drinker either, and so we both just kind of pushed it down. Ugh, it was really gross, guys. It was bitter. It was so filling. I felt so full. And it's funny because like I started drinking this before our food got there. Oh, we got this really cool, it kind of looked like a giant pancake, but it had like apples and cinnamon and sugar and no syrup, but it's really good. I think he said that it's actually an Austrian dish or something, but anyways, I was full off of this beer before that even came. Like, it was just, whew, it was hard, and I feel like I had to finish it because he bought it, so I have to finish it. So I like made myself finish this. Ugh. So by the time I was done with that, I really had to go to the bathroom. And trust me, we sat there in this restaurant and we talked for at least a few hours. I had some time to work on it, but yeah, by the time we were done, you know, talking, we were ready to move on. I was like, oh, did you see a restroom? Like when we were walking up, because we were on the second floor. He's like, oh yeah, it's actually right behind us. It's by the bathroom attendant, or you know, you see the bathroom lady. He said something, I can't remember, but I was like, what? Bathroom attendant, is it broken? Because usually if there's like a cleaning lady or something in front of a toilet, that means that it's broken, so, or they're cleaning it, so you cannot go in there because it's closed off. And he was like, no, she's just there to help you with whatever you need and keep it clean, and when you come out, just make sure you give her a few coins. And I was just like, what? Yeah, give her a few coins. And yeah, anyways, that is her job. She is the bathroom lady, and she had things like feminine hygiene products and stuff. I don't know. And an American friend had told me, my American friend who's actually in Wiesbaden, she told me that the bathrooms aren't free here, that you have to pay for the bathrooms, but in my mind I was envisioning something so much different. So much different. Anyways, I went to the bathroom and I washed my hands, and I came out, and then this is just where it got weird. Okay, let me back up. I tried to go to the bathroom, but I saw the words H-E-R, and so I thought perhaps, well, it was a longer word. I can't exactly remember how to spell it, but I saw her, and so I thought right off the bat, oh, that's women. So she stopped me really, really quick and told me that that was the men's restroom, so I almost walked into the men's restroom. And of course R, like I'm within eye shot, so it's like, you probably saw me almost walk into the men's bathroom. But yeah, so thankfully she helped me. I think I can't remember that word, but I think it started with a D. That's the word that I just need to remember. So once I got the correct bathroom, when I was coming out, a gentleman came out before me, and so he put his money in her little tin, and then I had like, I think 2 50-cent coins, and so I put them in her thing, and then she actually took them out and she gave them back to me. And I was just so confused because she did not do that with the gentleman before me. So it's like, I don't know why she did that. Why did she give me the money back? Like, she would not take the money at all. Like, and I tried again. Does she not like me? Like, I don't understand, but she would not take my money. So I was just really confused. Like, after that, we went downstairs and we went to check out some of the bars and stuff like that. So the first one we went to, like as we're walking, it was like I heard really loud rock music, and it was dark, and it was just like, we had passed other places, but the music was just different. It was like no music I've ever heard before. So this one, it was like, it was rock music, and it was like 80s rock, but it was in English, so I felt drawn to it. So I was like, yes, we're going in here. So I pulled him into there, and it had a pretty cool atmosphere. There wasn't really a lot of people there yet because the night was still pretty young. But when I went there, I definitely did not want to. Of course, this always happens to me, guys. Like, I get talking and then I run out of space because I took a lot of different footage from the castle I visited earlier today. But I have so many videos that I'm just behind on showing you guys. I need to get on it, but I don't really know where it was. Went into the rock place, cool vibe, cool atmosphere. Not a lot of people yet because it was still early, but I wanted to stay away from beer. Like, I was too nervous after the alt beer experience. I'm sorry, it kind of ruined it for me. So I was looking at their little drink list, and saw like something called long drinks. I think that's what they call their mixed drinks. And I ended up just getting something that was tried and true, that you cannot mess up. Just a Beam and Coke is really good. At one point in the night, I requested that. R asked me what I wanted, and I said that, but the music was loud, and I got a beer and Coke. Oh my gosh, but I'm getting ahead of myself. But what? A beer and Coke? How that hurt. That's actually R right now, but yeah. Anyways, I got a long drink. Yeah, he let me try his beer, and it was lighter and significantly better. Can't say it was as good as my drink, but it was better than the alt beer. So we stayed in there, and the music was good, and mostly they were just playing a lot of rock, 80s rock from the US. So that's why I was pretty content with being there. But you know, we couldn't, like, the music was so loud, and even though his English is really good, like really good, it might be because he lives in Frankfurt, so he can like speak it with more people, I don't know, but it was just so hard, just with the language barrier. Like, usually I always understand him, he usually always understands me, but like when I'm having to scream into his ear over music, like, one, that's not attractive, and two, yeah, it was hard for him to understand me. So we ended up going somewhere, another bar that was maybe a little quieter than this one, so we could actually like talk and stuff like that. So that is what we did. I think he picked the second one, and it had more like poppy music. I think he called it carnival music. Yeah. This music is just really bizarre, guys. I don't know how to explain it. I wasn't a fan, I'm sorry. And I love music, I love all music. I love alternative, I love classical rock, I love hip hop, I love trap music, I love country music, I love old country music. But this was a genre that I never come across, ever. So anyways, we were able to talk at least. So I think it was in this bar that he asked me what I wanted, and I told him, and he misunderstood my Beam and Coke. And I got a beer and Coke. But this is, yeah, I know. My mom and grandma right now are like, what? A beer and Coke? Like, that's disgusting. I know, guys. But seriously, it came back and it was actually good. It was actually good. Like, I kind of liked it. Oh, it gets weirder. Just wait, just wait. So he taught me this dance, and it's kind of like a two-step, but not at all. So we did that, and there were other people dancing in there, and of course it's like it's always cool to see other people do the dance that he taught me, because like they were like so good at it. Somehow we got on the topic of tequila, and yeah, we didn't order it because we weren't even done with the ones that we had. Yeah, we were talking about tequila, and he was like, oh my gosh, you have to have tequila. Or he asked me like white or gold, because I told him like that's usually like my go-to drink, tequila or whiskey. If I get tired of whiskey, it's a tequila night. If I get tired of tequila, it's a whiskey night. So yeah, he asked me silver or gold, and I said, no, I don't care any. And so they brought over gold, and oh my gosh, I don't think you guys are gonna be ready for this. So they brought it over, okay? And around the rim was like cinnamon, and on it, instead of a lime, was an orange slice. Cue horrifying music. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, what? Who made that up? I wonder if he got it just because he knew I was going to be shocked. Like, oh my gosh, so weird. So we drank it, and I like tequila enough to where I usually never chase it with salt or lime. Like, I just drink it. So I wanted to do that with that, but I didn't. I took a small bite of the orange just to get the full experience, and it was weird. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of weird. I think I'll just stick to regular tequila, but that was different. That was different for sure. So after that, we moved on. Well, I wanted to move on to another one because I'd kind of had enough of the music. Like, it was just so weird. So some of the songs were like remakes of our songs, but it was in no, I mean, well, they sing it in English, but just the beat and the melody is completely different, and it was so weird. So he told me a little bit about Carnival, and how pretty much anything goes. It's kind of like the people run the show, and it's just like a week-long party or something like that, and people dress up. And I had heard about it from Julie, but I wasn't quite sure about it. Like, I think it's something that they do, and they didn't use this by the, I mean, like the Germans that I've talked about Carnival with, like they didn't say that it's before Lent, but yeah, it's what they described to me kind of sounded like Lent. And so after that, for the 28 or so days, then that's when they abstain from whatever they're abstaining from, if it's alcohol, TV, their phone, whatever. So it's like you go crazy, you party like a mad person. And when I say mad person, like Art told me a story where one time he was in a bar and like they were just having live sex, and it was like just okay, like people cheered them on, like it was just, yeah, a carnival night. So it's like I've heard some insane things, and I did not quite know that Germans partied that hard, but yes. Where am I going with this? I don't know. Anyways, we moved on to the next place, and this one we had passed, and this had more type of house / club music that you would hear in the US. It's not really good music, even when it's in the US, but it was still better than the carnival music. So we went in there, there's you know, just girls like dancing on the tables, and it just had a different vibe. It had just more of a club vibe, lots and lots of people, more people dancing, they're more standing. And yeah, it was a fun little place. It was fun. Like, I feel like the places, like, they're not huge, not quite as large, but like there's tons of people in it. And yeah, met a person from the Netherlands there. Their English was very good. Especially if you're like screaming to each other. But left there. There's one place that wasn't really advertised as a place. It was actually above a McDonald's, and they just kind of had it like roped off, and so it was like a private party or something. I don't know. But somewhere around the night, like it was like 1:30 or so, I checked because I needed to make a train back home, and I did not know that at a certain time, like they cut off the trains. I think it was maybe after 3 or 2, like it's the last train, and then they don't start back up until like 5. So I had to make sure that I caught the bracket. So at this point, oh, I think we got hungry or something, or we had to soak up the alcohol. So we went into a pizzeria, and oh my gosh. So they didn't have vegan pizza. I know, I'm sorry, Mom. But I had like the best pizza ever, like ever. I don't understand. It's just way different than any pizza you could ever get in the US, like ever. It was so, so, so good. We got cheese and a mushroom pizza. It was cheese and mushroom on one pizza. So good, oh my gosh. Weird thing about it was they had green chili. They had green chili. I did not know that they had green chili this far out. I thought it was just a New Mexico thing because, you know, people are crazy there. Even at the McDonald's in New Mexico, you can get green chili on your cheeseburger. Like it's, you go to an ice cream place, they put green chili in the ice cream. Now, New Mexico, it has like a large Mexican influence just because Mexico is literally like right next door. You can, I won't say you can come and go easily, but you can easily go to Mexico by accident. You'll just be on the highway, and if you're not watching where you're going, then all of a sudden, oh, I'm in Mexico. Anywho, detour. But where was I? Yeah, it was the best pizza, and I was scared because like I hadn't eaten like cheese and stuff like that in a long time. So like, I was nervous that it was gonna make me sick or anything. Thankfully, I didn't have any issues. It was just way too much alcohol. So that time it was time to leave and to go to the train station, and it was raining, so it was like freezing rain, and it's like 1:30 a.m. and oh, so we went underground, and there was like a, I don't think it was a bus, it was just a train, but it was a different type of train. I think it was like a red train. Anyways, we got on it, and then we went to HB. Hop on Hoff. We got there, and it's huge. It's huge, 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 huge. So now I know that I have not really seen a real train station, because this one was gigantic and it was really, really clean, and there were so many different stores and shops. So like it's like you're underground, and I feel like I remember it being bright, and yeah, there's all these shops, like restaurants and things like that. And so it's kind of like you're half in a mall, half in a train station. You only know it's a train station because they have the corridors with the stairs going up, and so you're seeing that you're going to different platforms as you're walking down, and so it kind of had like an airport feel. It was bizarre. It's very bizarre. So we walked over to my platform, and it was pretty deserted. Like there was no one else on there. It was just like the train, and it was waiting to leave, and yeah, like I thought there was no one around. So yes, I hugged him goodbye and whatnot. He stole a kiss. Totally stole it. I hugged him goodbye. I was already turned around. I think he turned me back around and kissed me, and it went on for pretty long. But like I said, I did not know that. Okay, I felt like we were alone. So after that ended, I walked to my train, and I got on, which was like only a few feet away from me, and I got on, and as this was a different train than I've ever been on before. Like you walk, it's a two-decker. It's a two-decker. it had different decks, different levels. There's like one level, there's 2 levels, so I just went up. And anyways, as I'm walking up, there's a few people on the train, and they're all staring, like they were just unabashedly staring at me. And as soon as I look to my left, I see that you have like a completely, like a perfect view of this empty train station. So they probably saw pretty much everything, but they didn't even avert their eyes. Like they just stared. And so I had to walk past and find like a little seat. So that was very awkward. So it was one of those things where when it's dark, I don't know, like I don't remember seeing people. Like I didn't know that there was people on the train until anyways I got on the train, and it was embarrassing. That's just what I'm trying to get at. It was very embarrassing. So I went home, but it was funny because they have people walking around to check your tickets. So on a train, I thought maybe it'd be like a bus where you scan your ticket if it's on your app, or you scan your card, whatever you have. But on the trains, there's nothing like that. And so at night, I got to see how they verify. It's like an honor system during the day, but at night they actually check. And so there's people walking around checking, and when they would check mine would always say, I can't remember what the word was, but pretty much my ticket would be bad. But I bought the ticket, the day before, so it was like maybe midnight. And then of course by the time I got on the train, it's like 1:30 a.m. or 2 a.m. so maybe that's why it made my ticket not work or something. I don't know. Like I was showing the people, oh no, I just bought this, like, because of course it was just like an hour ago for me, but it was yesterday. And it was different because like their English wasn't that great, and so there's just a lot of pointing and just talking. And so anyways, pretty much they thought I didn't buy the ticket or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I did wrong. So anyways, I had a connecting train, and so I got on that train. Of course, the same thing happens. People are walking around. This time it's a male and a female, and they come to me, and of course the same thing happens because it's the same ticket. So they're like, no, that ticket is not good. And gosh, their English was really, really bad. So it was just, but it's like the German that I've been learning, I didn't learn a phrase for saying, no, my ticket is good. Like, or, you know, for explaining myself, like, yes. Anyways, so we were still talking about my ticket, and then we were coming up on my stop, and so I asked, well, can I get off? This is my stop. And so thankfully they let me off without carting me away to jail. I don't know what happens, but it was just, it's really embarrassing. Let's just put it that way. But I got off, thankfully. I don't know what happened, guys. I don't know, was it a glitch within my app? Because the app was working odd when I was trying to buy my tickets earlier in the day, but those tickets worked fine. It was just my ticket back home that just, I don't know, just was not working. I don't know. Anyways, I had a lovely walk in the rain, and it's like 2 degrees Celsius at 2 a.m. and it was magical. Walk of shame after almost getting kicked off a train. And oh my, what happened? I really want to figure out what went wrong. Because I've used the app enough. Like, I definitely bought it from Düsseldorf to my city, but I don't know why it said that it was no longer valid. Why? Was it because I bought it the day before? Was it a glitch? Was it user error? What? Anyways, I gotta go. This is such a long video. I'm so sorry, guys. But that's my Düsseldorf story.